5 FM is totally different. That's why true music lovers make a big switch. And because you have a winner taste, 88.5 FM is your only station.
From Royal Communications Incorporated. Good morning and welcome to King's News Broom. King's News Broom is a 45 minutes of news about Liberia, Africa, and our one word. Today is Wednesday, February 5, 2025. My name is Cornelius Johnson, presenting this early morning edition of the program. In the headlines, House of Senate instructs Standing Committee to work with relevant government ministries and agencies to derive workable solutions to U.S. government withdrawal of support to Liberia through USAID. Grangida County District 1 Representative Jeremiah Sokan calls for cancellation of Putu Iron Ore Mining Company Mineral Development Agreement as the House of Representatives vote to summon officials of the National Investment Commission, Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the Ministry of Justice to provide status update on Putu Mining Company. Liberia state-owned National Oil Company Chief Executive Officer Rosalyn Swakoko Dennis faces huge corruption allegations. The NOCAL CEO is accused of deliberately diverting the institution vehicles into her personal use and awarding US 58, that's 585,000 contract to a one more oil company. Away from Liberia, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has moved to defuse a row with the new US administration over a new land law by speaking to Elon Musk. And 5 men have been sentenced to death by hanging in Nigeria's Kano state for the 2023 murder of a woman they accuse of being a witchcraft. We take a very short break. When we come back, we bring you our news bulletin, followed by the voices of the newsmakers and all the developments right here, King's Newsroom. Let's take this break. When we come back, we'll bring you the news bulletin. Many thanks for being there and welcome back. The Liberian Senate has instructed its committees on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning, Foreign Affairs, and Agriculture to meet with all relevant ministries and agencies. They are providing direct oversight to discuss way forward in response to the United States development, that's the United States government withdrawal of support to the Liberia through USAID. The Senate's action is in response to a joint communication from 4 senators to include Abarakone of Wapolu County, Darius Dillon of Montserrat County, Augustine Chi of Sano County, and Wezonga Finley of Karambasa County. In their communications, the senators said the recent decision by the U.S. government demands immediate attention that requires a reassessment of Liberia's budgetary process, specifically allocations for the next 4 years. US President Donald Trump's recent policy to temporarily suspend a significant portion of foreign assistance as part of his America First initiative. The suspension of foreign assistance have resulted in the pause of billions of dollars in global funding, pending a 90-day review by the State Department. The government of Liberia is poised to face its significant online challenges, which the senator said requires a thoughtful reassessment of the country's budgeting and development financing strategies and priorities for the coming 4 years. Last year, the United States and Liberia formalized Amendments 14 and 15 to the Development Objective Agreement, initially established in May 2020 with the Coalition for Democratic Change led administration. The government requires an additional investment of 114,488,125 United States dollars, which accounts for approximately 14% of Liberia's national budget. The House of Representatives has voted to summon officials from the National Investment Commission, Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the Ministry of Justice to provide a status update on the Putu Iron Ore Mining Company investment in Grand Jida County. The three will appear before members of the House on Thursday, February 13, 2025. The decision was prompted by a communication from Grand Jida County District 1 Representative Jeremiah Sokan, who is requesting a clarity on the status of the Putu Iron Ore Mining Agreement. Putu Iron Ore Mining Company, a Russian affiliated company, signed a mineral development agreement with the Republic of Liberia September 2, 2010. The company ceased operations in 2016 due to what it termed as financial and operational challenges. Addressing legislative reporters Tuesday, Representative Jeremiah Sokan said a status update about Putu Iron Ore Mining Company is cardinal. Representative Sokan referenced a 2016 statement by former Lands, Mines and Energy Minister Patrick Sendolo, who told the Liberian Senate that Putu left Liberia because it was unable to manage the mining process independently despite efforts to secure investment partners. In another development, the House of Representatives has mandated a specialized committee to investigate the Minister of Justice, Transport, and the Management of Liberia Traffic Management Incorporated through its Chief Executive Officer, Mohamed Dawich, over recent announcement regarding the issuance of driver license and vehicle registrations. A statement issued by the Horse Press Bureau says the action violates a primary function of the Ministry of Transport, which has already been contracted to the Muddy Development and Management Corporation through a competitive bidding process overseen by Public Procurement and Concession Commission. The lower house decision was reached Tuesday during its 7-day sitting of the first quarter of the second section. The action was triggered by a communication from Maserati County Electoral District 4 Representative Anthony Michael Thomas, who highlighted that the Ministry of Transport was established by an act of the National Legislature on August 5, 1987, to regulate and administer transport issuance and maritime policies in Liberia. Allegations of rampant corruption have entangled the CEO of Liberia's state-owned oil company, Nocal. Nocal Chief Executive Officer Rosalind Swakoko Dennis is accused of dubiously diverting the institution's vehicle into a person named to run her personal errands. According to Martin K. Nkoli, who is calling on President Joseph Boakai to suspend and turn over the Nocal boss for investigations. In November 2024, US 75,000 was dispersed from the Nocal SIB bank account to purchase a vehicle for Madam Swakoko Dennis. He asserted that records at Nocal have shown that only one vehicle was bought for US 75,000, adding that investigations have proven that the MG 2024 RX-8 7-seater XUV is not sold for US 75,000 but sold for 45,000 at a duty price with a discount of 43,500 United States dollars at the Qatar's Motors Liberia. He indicated that due to Qatar's non-compliance posture to give kickback of US 30,000, the Nocal boss took another vehicle and registered it as her personal vehicle in her private sanitation company called Tanti Group of Companies. The CEO of Nocal awarding a contract to a one-month-old service-based sole proprietorship company called West Africa Geo Services without any due diligence. The contract is said to be valued at US 585,000 United States dollars. Bong County Senator Johnny Quaye has donated a huge consignment of assorted medical supplies to the Bong County Health Team for onward distribution to health facilities across the county. The donation is aimed at buttressing government's effort as part of Senator Quaye's vision to providing essential healthcare services to the people of Bong County and Liberia at large, making the presentation the chief of office staff in the offices of Bong County Senator Cornelius puts the monetary value of the medical supplies to over 100,000 United States dollars. He further noted the donation was part of efforts by the Bond County lawmaker in ensuring that the people of Bond County have access to quality health care. Seaton re-emphasized Senator Squee's commitment to building an ambulance hub in Banga following a promise he made to the county health team and the citizenry of the county, receiving the items on behalf of the Bon County health team. The administrator of the county health team, Sam Siako, lauded Senator Quay for the kind gesture, noting that they were not surprised because the senator has always identified with them. He added that the supplies will be adequately distributed and used for its intended purpose. The Bon County senator made a presentation Monday, February 3, at his Banga office in the county. A group under the banner Citizens United to Promote Development and Accountability has expressed concern over recent actions taken by the Liberian government involving the payment of US 375,000 to Central Bank of Liberia former governor Aloysius Talu. According to reports, the Liberian government settled out by paying the former CBO governor Aloysius Talu with about 375,000 United States dollars to withdraw his legal action against the executive branch of government. Former Governor Talu was implicated in a corruption allegation by the executive branch of government, later laid off by President Joseph Boakai. However, the Supreme Court of Liberia recently approved what it described as voluntary discontinuation of the legal case involving the former central bank governor and the executive branch of the Liberian government. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia, the executive director of the Citizens United to Promote Development and Accountability, Victor Balu, describes the action of the government to dish out what he termed huge fund in the midst of allegations of corruption against the former central bank governor as unfortunate. According to Balu, this clearly signifies that the essence for which President Joseph Boakai was elected has been undermined by himself and his advisors. Balu also termed as betrayal of trust of Liberians by the Joseph Boakai-led administration. Opposition Liberty Party political leader and Senate Pro Tem Yombli Kanga Lawrence has announced Liberty Party National Convention to be held in Monrovia. According to Hall, the convention, which will be held under the theme Stronger Together, will begin this Friday, February 7, and end Sunday, February 9, and will be used to finalize and legalize the party's decisions. The Liberty Party political leader also described the party a grassroots party under her leadership. She, however, lauded partisans of the party for their trust confidence they have shown her and enjoyed since her ascendancy as the political leader. The Grand Bassa County senator also used the occasion to call on partisans, sympathizers, well-wishers of the party to converge at the party's headquarters on Tottenham Boulevard this weekend to unite, emphasizing the need to put their differences aside and move the party forward. Several local and international organizations implementing USAID-sponsored projects in Liberia are faced with unexpected closures of its projects activities due to the shutdown of USAID. According to international news, including CNN, President Donald Trump has confirmed he wants the headquarters of USAID shut down. The United States Agency for International Development annually dispensing billions of humanitarian aid and development fundings to several countries, including Liberia. President Trump, who has put about 60 that USAID senior staff on leave last week on accusation of attempting to thwart his executive order to freeze foreign aid for 90 days, said the agency is being run by a bunch of radical lunatics and we're getting them out to make a decision on his future. Several institutions in the Press Union of Liberia, National Bar Association and Female Journalists Association, among others, have benefited immensely from USAID sponsored projects. The shutdown of the agency has not only affected organizations in Liberia but several African countries. The shutdown will be a serious setback for the rest of the world. Dozens of Americans, including senior staff of the agency, have begun calling on President Donald Trump to rethink his decision. Chief Justice Sienna Yo and three others are expected to appear before the presiding justice in chambers at the Supreme Court on Wednesday for a legal conference. The Wednesday's conference, according to our judicial correspondent, was triggered by a petition of a right of prohibition filed by 8 dismissed magistrates, including John Grace and James Dolo. The magistrate's lawyer, Councilor Elisha Fokeyo, accused Chief Justice Yo of excluding their names from a list of magistrates that were reappointed by President Joseph Boakai. Councilor Fokeyo also claimed that the Chief Justice unconstitutionally exercised an executive power assigned to the President by her unlawful dismissal of certain penitentiary and associate magistrates that were lawfully appointed by the President, consistent with Chapter 7, Section 7.5 of the Judicial Law of Liberia. Criminal Court CA resident George Blumlow Dixon is expected to read the mandate of the Supreme Court seeking for his exit in the case involving ex-finance minister Samuel Twe and four others. According to our judicial correspondent, Associate Justice Yami Wese has asked George Dixon to recuse himself from the case based on a petition filed by prosecuting lawyers on grounds that he was conflicted. Ahead of George Dixon's departure from the case, report says Chief Justice Sianne Ayo is considering another George at the criminal court seat, particularly for the ex-finance ministers and four others case. Judicial sources have hinted that the priests of the High Court could likely assign Criminal Court A resident George Roosevelt Willie or the 5th Judicial Circuit Court resident George Usman Fekar to take seats of the defendant Twe and four others criminal case at Criminal Court C. The 5 ex-officials have since been indicted by the government of Liberia for allegedly stealing over $6 million United States dollars while serving in the WIA's administration, but they have since pleaded not guilty to the offenses contained in the indictment, thereby shifting the burden of proof on states' lawyers to provide their claim against them as provided by Chapter 25, Section 25.5 of the Criminal Procedure Law of Liberia. Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustine Gafwan has highlighted the significant role of the business community in increasing the country's revenue. Minister Gafwan on Tuesday chaired a high-level stakeholders meeting at the Freeport of Monrovia, bringing together players from the business sector to discuss operational blockages and identified immediate solutions. He emphasized that for Liberia's economy to thrive through effective revenue generation, it is crucial to tackle the challenges facing the business sector. Minister Gafwan explained that the stakeholders meeting was a follow-up to initial discussions with the private sector held in October of the previous year. He described the private sector as the engine of growth for Liberia's economy. In her remarks, Commerce and Development Minister Madeleine Dagoze expressed the government's deep concern about three issues, recognizing the importance of ongoing dialogue with the business community. She noted that in previous meetings with groups such as the Liberia Business Association, Liberia Chamber of Commerce, and Liberia Marketing Association, one recurring issue has been the tariff system at the port. Representatives from the business community shared their concerns during the meeting, addressing issues such as custom duties, tariffs, and other challenges. Away from Liberia, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has moved to defuse a row with the new U.S. administration over a new land law by speaking to Elon Musk. Mr. Musk is a close advisor to President Donald Trump, who won who on Sunday threatened to cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that it was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. The South Africa-born tech billionaire joined in the criticism, asking on X why Ramaphosa had openly racist ownership laws. Ramaphosa office said that in the call to Mr. Musk, the president reiterated South Africa's constitutional embedded values of the respect for the rule of law, justice, fairness, and equality. Last month, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed into law a bill that allows land seizures without compensation in in certain circumstances. Five men have been sentenced to death by hanging in Nigeria's Kano state for the 2023 murder of a woman they accused of being a witchcraft. The convicted men attacked Dawar Abubakar, 67, as she was working on her farm, beating and stabbing her to death. Ms. Abubakar's family went to the authorities and the suspects were swiftly arrested in a village 45 kilometers from Kano and the largest city in northern Nigeria. The case gained attention across the country and raised discussions over how people in rural areas continue to be murdered following witchcraft accusations. The ones who make the claims without any proof believe that those they accuse are responsible for either a death of a family member, sickness, or misfortune. That's the news bulletin. We take a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you the voices of the newsmakers. Stay tuned. If you're just joining us, you are listening to King's News Broom, 45 minutes of news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Today is Wednesday, February 5, 2025, and I'm Cornelius Johnson presenting this early morning edition of the program. Stories we are closely following. House of Representatives instructs Senate committees to work with relevant government ministries and agencies to derive workable solutions to U.S. government withdrawal of support to Liberia through USAID. Grand Juda County District 1 Representative Jeremiah Sokan calls for cancellation of Putu Iron Ore Mining Company Mineral Development Agreement as the House of Representatives vote to summon officials of the National Investment Commission, Ministry of Mines and Energy, and Ministry of Justice to provide status update on Putu Mining Company. Liberia state-owned National Oil Company Chief Executive Officer Rosalind Swakoko Dennis faces huge corruption allegations. The NOCAL CEO is accused of deliberately diverting the institution vehicle into a personal use and awarding US 505,000 contract to a one-month oil company. And away from Liberia, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has moved to defuse a row with new U.S. administration over new land law by speaking to Elon Musk. Five men have been sentenced to death by hanging in Nigeria's Kano state for the 2023 murder of a woman they accused of being a witchcraft. Let's now bring you the voices of the newsmaker. A group under the banner Citizens United to Promote Development and Accountability has expressed concern over recent actions taken by the Liberian government involving the payment of US $375,000 to the Central Bank of Liberia former governor Aloysius Talu. According to reports, the Liberian government settled out by paying the former CBO governor with about 375,000 United States dollars to withdraw his legal action against the executive branch of the government. Former Governor Talu was implicated in a corruption allegation by the executive branch of government and later paid off by or laid off by President Joseph Boakai. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia, the executive director of the Citizens United to Promote Development and Accountability, Victor Balu, described the action of the government to dish out what he termed huge fund in the midst of allegations of corruption against the former CBO governor as unfortunate. According to Balu, this clearly signifies that the essence for which President Bouakai was elected has been undermined by himself and his advisors. Here now is Victor Balu.
Recent action taken by the government of Liberia, headed by His Excellency Honorable Joseph Yuma Boakai, regarding the Central Bank of Liberia, CBL, and its former governor, Mr. J. Aloysius Talu, have raised serious questions about the commitment of our leader to transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. It has made us to hold the view that business will always be as usual, which is contrary to his popular statement, there will be no more business as usual. The General Auditing Commission, GAC, conducted a thorough audit of the CBL, thereby uncovering significant allegations of financial mismanagement and non-compliance with critical financial management laws. These findings were enough to warrant the indefinite suspension of Mr. Talu pending his investigation by the government through the court system. It will interest you to know that instead of pursuing justice, which would either lead to holding Mr. Talu accountable or acquitting him through due process, the government has chosen to enter into a surreptitious and a confidential statement paying him over 374,000 United States dollars to resign quietly and walk away with impunity. It is not the first time as we saw seen with Deputy Bank Governor Yemeni Pearson. We think that this move not only undermines the principles of justice, but sends a dangerous message that corruption can be resolved through financial settlement rather than legal accountability.
He's Victor Balu, Executive Director of the Citizens United to Promote Development and Accountability. They're speaking. Opposition Liberty Party political leader and Senate Pro Tem Yombli Kanga Lawrence has announced Liberty Party National Convention to be held in Monrovia. According to her, the convention, which will be held under the theme Stronger Together, will begin this Friday, February 7 and Sunday, February 9. It will be used to finalize and legalize the party's decisions. The Liberty Party political leader also describes the party a grassroots party under her leadership. She, however, lauded the citizens of the party for their trust confidence they have shown her and enjoys since her ascendancy as political leader. The Grand Bassa County senator also used the occasion to call on partisan sympathizers well wishes of the party to converge at the party's headquarters on the Tottenham Boulevard this weekend to unite, emphasizing the need to put their differences aside and move the party forward. Here now is Senate Pro Tem Yombli Kanga Lawrence.
Of reconciliation engagement by joint committees on both sides of the divide, we are pleased to announce to all of our partisans, friends, sympathizers, well-wishers, and the public that the Liberty Party is once again one unit under the leadership of Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence. Commissioner of the National Election Commission, we will on Friday, the 7th to Sunday, the 9th of February, host a national convention under the theme Stronger Together to finalize and legalize our decision. The details of the process and procedure will be discussed and approved at the convention. However, I wish to extend my thanks and appreciation to all of our partisans for trusting and believing in us, and for the excitement and enthusiasm that we have seen since the process commenced. We are inviting all partisans to gather on Saturday, February 8, 2025 at 8 a.m. for a parade to our new party headquarters on the Tubman Boulevard, opposite the YMCA where we are now, for the opening ceremony of our convention. Come, let's reunite. Come, let's show love to one another. Together,
She's Senate Pro Sam Youngly Kanga Lawrence and political leader of opposition Liberty Party there speaking. Bond County Senator Johnny Pay has donated a huge consignment of assorted medical supplies to the Bond County health team for onward distribution to health facilities across the county. The donation is aimed at buttressing government's effort as part of Senator Pay's vision to providing essential healthcare services to the people of Bond County and Liberia Large. Making the presentation, the chief of office staff in the offices of the Bond County Senator Ganil Seaton posed the monetary value of the medical supplies to over 100,000 United States dollars. He further noted that the donation was part of efforts by the Bond County lawmaker in ensuring that the people of the county have access to quality healthcare services. Seaton re-emphasized Senator Pay's commitment to building an ambulance hub in Banga following a promise he made to the county health team and the citizenry in the recent time. Here now is the chief of office staff here speaking.
Okay, on behalf of the office of the senator, my name is Mr. Bonake Seaton, COS in the office of Senator Johnny K. Senator of Bond County. Since his election, the senator has been working strongly with the county health team, and at this time again, we have come to represent him as an office to be able to do a donation on behalf of our office to the county health team. Some months ago, we were able to bring in some pharmaceutical for distribution in the county. So today we have the county health team administrator, county health officer, that's our own Dai, Darasebe, who has come to take delivery of the pharmaceutical. So on behalf of our office, administrator, I want to say these are pharmaceutical. Some is in the warehouse there and some are here for onward distribution across the county to the various clinics so that our people can have good health. I know there's a rumor that the senator is not willing to start the project at the ambulance hub, but we are told our citizens that the county health team, we are working closely with them to be able to implement all the projects that we talk about, especially the one that had to do with the ambulance hub is our landmark project. We cannot leave it out. But looking at the clinic in Yila, the place is very, very deplorable. Even the environment can make the patient to get well. So, and the structure is there, it just needs to be completed. So because of that, the senator decided to work with the county health team so that we can do some major work at the Yila clinic so that the clinic can be dedicated, that our people around there will be able to have a good health service delivery. But we know everything you do is quality because we are politicians, but we know that we are working and we'll continue to work with the county health team. There are many plans in line for the county health team to work with the senator. So the ambulance hub will be built, our people should not panic. The ambulance hub will definitely be built and turned over to our county and be operated by the county health.
Receiving the items on behalf of the Broom County Health Team, the administrator of the county health team, Sam Siako, lauded Senator Kwe for the kind gesture, noting that they were not surprised because the senator has always identified with them. He added that the supplies will be adequately distributed and used for its intended purpose. The Broom County senator made the presentation on Monday, February 3, at his Banga office in Broom County.
Thank you so much, Mr. C.U.S. On behalf of the county health team. I know the chief spokesperson of the county health team is here, who happens to be my own boss at the sibling. He will speak later. But on behalf of the administrative side, we want to say thank you to the office of Senator Kwe. This is not the first time. I think since we took over this, we have been almost the fourth time receiving a goodwill gesture from Senator Kwe. So on behalf of the county health team, we want to be grateful to the senator for always looking back in the Broom Legislative Caucus. I know many of them have been reaching out to us, but at this time we want to say thank you, Senator, for these materials. I know again we're going to be giving it to the Bureau facility for their own way of using it. The issue that have to do with the Yila Clinic, I think I have spoken to Kogwe here also on an occasion about it. We, as a county health team, were the one who appealed to the senator to see reason, because the St. John River have almost carried a Yila Clinic. So we spoke to him that the 2024 project that he wanted to do with the ambulance hub being built in Banga, that instead we even wanted for the ambulance hub to be decentralized. Instead of all the ambulances being parking in Banga, when there is a case in Rakosha, when you have a bleeding lady in Rakosha, where the ambulance will take 2 hours to go to Rakosha, to come back 2 hours, that lady will die. But if there is an ambulance hub being built in Bodota, ambulance is a sign in Bodota, it will be an easy route. If there is an ambulance hub or built in Handy, it will be an easy route. If there is an ambulance built in Toyota, it will be an easy route. So we have been speaking with Johnny, the senator, to help push Yila Clinic as we speak. Those who are adopting can go to Yila, can make their way to Yila. Wednesday will be a working day in Yila. 200 bags have been received now for Yila Clinic, and they have been a contractor and the senator have sent them.
He's Sam Siako, County Health Officer of Broom County. Earlier, you listened to the Chief of Office Staff in the office of Senator Johnny Kwe, Cornelius. The House of Representatives has voted to summon officials from the National Investment Commission, Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the Ministry of Justice to provide a status update on the Putu Iron Ore Mining Company investment in Grand Jida County. The three will appear before members of the lower house on Thursday, February 13, 2025. The decision was prompted by a communication from Grand Jida County District 1 Representative Jeremiah Sokan, who is requesting clarity on the status of Putu Iron Ore Mining Agreement. Putu Iron Ore Mining Company, a Russian affiliated company, signed a mineral development agreement with the Republic of Liberia September 2, 2010. The company ceased operations in 2016 due to what it termed as financial and operational challenges. Addressing legislative reporters Tuesday, Representative Jeremiah Sokan said a status update about Putu Iron Ore Mining Company is cardinal. Representative Sokan referenced a 2016 statement by former Lands, Mines, Energy Minister Patrick Sandolo, who told the Liberian Senate that Putu left Liberia because it was unable to manage the mining process independently despite efforts to secure investment partners. Here now is Representative Jeremiah Sokan.
Going to 16 years. There's no job creation. There's nothing. And there is huge deposit of mineral resources underneath the ground, which could increase our revenue generation and increase our budget in this country to lead us quickly into $1 billion plus. We could be benefiting today huge job creation for many talented, if not skilled Liberians in the Southeast. And so we think it's time. The time is now that the Ministry of Justice, that the National Investment Commission, and Ministry of Mines and Energy to move expeditiously to cancel that MDA because it is not useful, and we need to exert every effort to bring in new investors because this country needed, grandchildren needed. We should not be in the middle of a very clean, fresh water, be thirsty. So today that was the communication for on the phone, and I want to commend my distinguished colleagues who agree with this idea, and we look that Federal 18 will see those ministry, the proper authority to be here to give us reason and give us a clear, definitive plan as to when we can reactivate that investment and get Liberia back to work and increase our revenue in this country.
Yeah, almost so good.
Thank you, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Ministers are the proper authority to come in. Look, this is in the interest of the country. And I don't think any minister or any person of this country will say no to this. I mean, we have given sufficient time to the investor. And we are all aware that the investor is totally incapacitated. We cannot be held hostage, and the asset can be held hostage. Liberia means jobs, and we need to increase our revenue. The counties need development, and we rely on that. So there's no question here. And everybody agree with me that we need to move quickly. The point, the call to action now is that we need to muster the courage to be able to cancel the MDA. Whoever has a problem, we deal with it, they won't deal with it. But we need to move forward. We need to cancel the MDA. I mean, MDA. That's why National Investment Commission need to be here. They need to make sure that the condition, the MDA is not performing, and they need to find another investor. Let me tell you, that particular place has natural resources and minerals that can benefit this country. We need it now. If the United States of America is canceling all their development aid, we must utilize our resources to be able to generate revenue and create the jobs that will make sure for us to develop the country. We cannot remain dependent on aid and people and live at the whim and caprices of other government. We must take a decision. I said we need to cancel the MDA.
He's representative of District 1 of Grand Jita County, Jeremiah Sokan, there speaking. Well, on this note, this is how we come to the end of King's Newsroom. But just before we go, here are stories we closely follow in the headlines. House of Senate instructs standing committees to work with relevant government ministries and agencies to derive workable solutions to U.S. government withdrawal of support to Liberia through USAID. Grand Jita Council District 1 Representative Jeremiah Sokan calls for cancellation of Putu Iron Ore Mining Company Mineral Development Agreement as House of Representatives vote to summon officials of the National Investment Commission, Ministry of Mines and Energy, and the Ministry of Justice to provide status update on Putu Mining Company. Liberia state-owned National Oil Company Chief Executive Officer Rusolo Swakoko Dennis faces huge corruption allegations. The Nokar CEO is accused of deliberately diverting the institution's vehicle into her personal use and awarding US $585,000 contract to a one-month oil company. Away from Liberia, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has moved to defuse a row with the new U.S. administration over a new land law by speaking to Elon Musk. And 5 men have been suspended to death. 5 men have been suspended to death by hanging in Nigeria's Kano State for the 2023 murder of a woman they accuse of being a witchcraft. Many thanks to all of our contributors, correspondents, and reporters who help in making this edition of King's Newsroom a success. Join us at 1 p.m. this afternoon for another presentation. On behalf of the entire team, my name is Cornelius Johnson, our presenter. Many thanks for listening and watching. Good morning from Monrovia.